Hey, last week I was telling you about my 10 birth wishes, and this week I thought I would share my 10 postpartum wishes and how I want to prepare for my recovery after birth. If you're pregnant right now and new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and click the bell button below so you don't miss any of my pelvic health tips to prepare for an empowering birth experience. First and foremost, I know I've mentioned this in other videos before, but I just want to mention how the amount of time spent on preparing for birth seems so disproportionate compared to the amount of time spent on preparing for postpartum. And I think that is why so many new parents struggle in that phase because they don't really know what to expect and what it will look like and how to concretely prepare for it. So if you're expecting right now and you're clueless about what postpartum may look like, I hope you will find inspiration in this video. So let's get started. So my first postpartum wish is to have support at home for the first 2 months after baby is born. In my case, my partner is going to take 3 to 4 weeks off work to stay at home with me. And once he returns to work, my parents will come and stay with me for another 3 to 4 weeks. So I know I'm super privileged, and I know this is not something everyone can afford. But the idea is that for the first 2 months, all I will have to do is take care of my baby, feed my baby, rest and recover. And all the rest, so cooking, making sure I'm hydrated, making sure I can take a shower once in a while or go for a mental health walk, all of these things will be supported by my support system. I think this will really support my physical recovery from birth, and it will also take off the pressure from my shoulders to do it all. And sometimes I think I may tend to push myself too much, but having all this support in place, I think I will be more likely to rest and take care of myself. Postpartum wish number 2 is breastfeeding. So after reading the book Breastfeeding Made Simple, I'm super on board with trying to breastfeed my baby for at least 6 to 12 months after birth. And I'll do everything in my power to make this happen. So I have already some lactation consultants' contact information if I need more assistance. And I've read a ton on the subject to feel more confident about it. I know it can be really challenging for some moms postpartum, so we're really trying to just set myself up for success. Postpartum wish number 3 is getting support for doggy care. So we have 2 lovely furry friends at home who are used to daily walks and exercising, and I anticipate that they won't get a lot of our attention for the first month after we bring our little one home. So that is why I would love to plan on having friends or family members maybe take them at their place for a little bit. This way we can settle into our new routine without feeling doggy guilt. And if that's not possible, maybe just letting our support network know that we would really appreciate some help with taking the dogs out once in a while. Postpartum wish number 4, get house cleaners. So I don't know for you, but I can't function in a messy and dirty house. I get frustrated and impatient, and my brain just cannot think straight. And I've actually had house cleaners every other week since before pregnancy, and it's been life-changing, people. Not that cleaning the house was that time-consuming for us because our space is actually quite small, but it has removed the mental load of, all the times telling myself, oh, I should clean the house soon, I should do the bathroom. And these thoughts were just circling in my mind until I'd do it or my partner would do it. And just that mental load of constantly thinking about that was just too much. And now it's all off our shoulders. So I know that postpartum, finances can be a little tighter, but if there is one expense that I'm not ready to give up is the house cleaner. So we're gonna maintain that. Postpartum wish number 5 is get a meal train. Okay, so meal trains have been my thing that I do for my friends who are newly parents. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically when people drop meals off at your place for a defined period of time. Some of my friends said it was actually the most helpful support they receive postpartum, because when you're barely sleeping and you're in the midst of figuring out how to take care of your baby, planning a meal and cooking something nice for yourself can actually feel like a mountain. So there are free websites where you can set up your meal train so people can select the date they want to deliver their meal, get the instructions about the drop-off. You can even write extra requests like needing support for dog walks or taking your toddler for a walk at the park or whatever it is that you may need. Because truly, a lot of people offer their help, but actually they don't know how to concretely help you. So with the meal train, they're like, it's specific, they have instructions, and they're happy to kind of provide some support for you. And I find the meal train is a great place to write your preferences for visits as well, whether it is checking in with you if they want to stop by to say hello, and the maximum of time per visit. Because you wouldn't believe how many people drop by a new parent's place and sit on the couch for hours and chat away when you actually just need to rest. So like sometimes just writing in your meal train, hey, we're happy to have you for a 30-minute visit if you want to come and say hello to baby, but since we're in a period where rest is important, we would appreciate keeping your visit short. Something around those lines. Postpartum wish number 6 is bed sharing. So I've been reading this book called Sweet Sleep, which talks about the benefits of bed sharing for the families who are aiming to breastfeed. And it has been super interesting to read about how to make your bed safe for co-sleeping and how it could provide me with some more rest. So I want to get a co-sleeper bassinet, which is basically a bassinet that is attached to your bed, so you can put your baby down after nursing without having to get up. So we'll see how it goes, and of course there are a multitude of other options if that is not working for us, but I want to keep an open mind about all of this and see what works best for our family. Postpartum wish number 7 is limiting visits. You may already know this about me if you've been following me for a while, but I'm a total introvert and I recharge my batteries when I am alone. So having too much social stimulation tires me out, and I expect that it will be even worse postpartum when I'm sleep deprived. So it's super important to me that my partner and I have space and time to settle into our new family routine together in the first month after birth, and that we limit visits to close family members and friends. I know that for me, having visitors every day would be way too overwhelming. So just having some days where, we have no one coming home and we can just focus on rest will be super important. Postpartum wish number 8 is no work or social media for at least a month. This is a hard one for me because I love what I do and I love my online community and you guys. And since I know that a lot of you have been following me through my journey, it will be hard to hold myself back from posting on social media. But I also know that being on social media will keep me away from connecting with my baby and resting, which truly should be the main focus of those first few weeks, right? So I really want to allow myself at least a month where I go inward, and then after that I'll see how I feel about easing back into social media. Postpartum wish number 9 is giving myself permission to rest. This is a challenging one when you're someone like me, always on the go and on to the next thing. But I teach this every day to the mamas in my online signature program. Postpartum is about listening to your body and giving it permission to rest, especially in the first few weeks. I really don't want to develop a postpartum prolapse or any sort of pelvic injuries from returning to exercise too early. I know exactly what I should or should not do to support my recovery, so my plan is to take my own advice here and try to not skip ahead. Postpartum wish number 10 is ask for help. So I know this one is super hard for a lot of women, including myself. We like to be independent and do it all ourselves, and why would we ask for help when it is something we can do, right? Why would I ask a friend to come and walk the dog when I can walk? Why would I ask my partner to pick up the groceries when it's just a 10-minute drive from home and there's just a few things to buy? And the answer is because even though you can, it does not mean you should. These things may look like they do not require much effort, but we need to approach recovering from birth like recovering from an injury. Would you be able to go for a 30 minutes dog walk after an ankle sprain? Yes, if you push through the pain, of course. But should you do it? Absolutely not, because it will make it worse. So I teach some of these simple postpartum recovery tips in my free prenatal masterclass, which you can sign up for in the description below if you're interested. But anyway, the moral of the story is there is nothing wrong with asking for help. And also, don't feel like you need to give anything back in return when people offer their help. You know, I'm sure one day you'll give back to someone else in need, and it's just the way life goes. So I'm trying to really go with that spirit of let's accept the help when it comes to me, and let's be in receiving mode for that season of my life. I hope that my postpartum wishes will stir some ideas for you. And also, a lot of these tips have been inspired from the moms I'm working with. So thank you for sharing your wisdom with me. I'm so thankful because honestly, without you, I would not feel as prepared for my postpartum journey. Thanks for watching.